Hey everyone, and welcome back to r/EntitledPeople. Hope you're all doing awesome today. Be sure to like and subscribe, and let's get right into today's Reddit posts. Screw your HOA and its ridiculous rules. Back in high school, I was all about my car. Don't get me wrong, it was a rolling piece of crap, but it was my car. It had a trade-in value of maybe $5, but it was my car. I was learning how to take care of it, by which I mean I found where the dipstick was and how to pull it. I hadn't yet moved on to tire inflation, one step at a time. One day after school, I drove to my friend's place. We jump out, pop the hood, pull the dipstick, check the oil, and it was fine, so we put the hood back down. I had no idea what an HOA was, nor what it meant. I was just a happy, ignorant teenager, eager to demonstrate how responsible I was with my wheels. A few days go by and we're hanging out at my friend's place when his mom comes home. She starts giving us the business in that I'm annoyed but trying not to be voice about a warning she received from the HOA regarding repairing cars in your driveway, complete with the photo of my piece of crap with the hood up. Really, she was being pretty good, though clearly annoyed. We explained that we weren't repairing anything, that I was just checking the oil level and didn't even need any tools. Picture just had the hood up. She softened quite a bit, and the focus of her annoyance shifted from us to the HOA, since it's entirely reasonable for anyone to check the level of oil in a car. She finds her copy of the HOA rules and we all read them together. Sure enough, there's a bylaw that says you can't repair a car in the driveway. I protest that I wasn't repairing anything, I was just checking the oil. Reading the exact rules on exactly what was forbidden sparked an idea. I look at my friend, raise an eyebrow and say, "Fight the power? Fight the power." I propose my plan to his mom and ask for permission, since she's going to have to deal with the fallout. She's on board since she thinks this is supremely stupid, and we set in motion. Every day after school, my friend and I drove our piece of crap machines to his place, parked in their driveway, raised the hoods, and just looked at the engines. No tools, we weren't even near them. We didn't check the oil. We didn't so much as touch them nor wipe them down with a rag. All we did was expose them to the birds, the sky, and God above to just let them breathe. After a while, I got bored, so I started setting up an easel and drawing my engine 10 minutes at a time. My friend had to one-up me, so decided he needed some tasteful, artistic photos with his engine. He judged the best photos would be him laying over the engine shirtless, stroking and fake kissing it. Just absurd, over-the-top, moronic high schooler stuff. Predictably, the HOA was on us like stink on shit. The warnings quickly turned into fines, complete with pictures of both vehicles with their hoods up. Then even more pictures with my friend's with its hood up, him laying in the engine compartment and me taking pictures of him with the camera. Soon enough, his mom let us know it was time for the monthly HOA meeting. Of course, all three of us had to go in person to protest the fines, so the motley pair of us show up along with his mom and his mom's stack of fine notices. I bring along my engine drawing, and we printed some of my friend's boudoir or engine photos larger than normal. After a while, it was now business time, and my friend's mom steps up. I'm pretty sure they expected her to play the "my son and his friend are morons. Please make these fines go away since I didn't know what they were doing" sympathy card. Nope, not a chance. She politely but firmly attested that she was being sent fines for something that wasn't in the bylaws and asked the board to stop. One of the board members spoke up saying that working on cars was against the bylaws, and clearly that's what was going on since both hoods were up. Oh, you should have seen their faces when she corrected them, that the bylaw said no repairs were allowed, that there were no repairs going on in any of the pictures since no tools were visible, and that we were just doing art projects for school. Even longer faces were seen when she showed my truthfully completely terrible drawing of my engine, along with the date stamped a couple weeks ago pictures. This was back when film cameras stamped a date directly on the picture, of my friend trying to seduce his engine. The HOA president called for a 5-minute recess, during which the board huddled in a corner of the room. After the recess, the president succinctly said, "Ma'am, we are going to dismiss all your fines. Have a nice evening." We damn near danced out of that meeting. Being the obnoxious heads that my friend and I were, we had to do the drawing and photo routine a few more times, just to make sure they weren't going to start sending more fines. They wisely didn't, and being victorious, we soon found other ways to annoy them. Now, if this HOA was actually smart, they would revise the wording of the bylaw. It's obvious that whoever wrote that rule had no idea what they were talking about. given that they use the word repair, which implies that you're fixing something that is broken, obviously. So even if they were doing something like changing the oil in their car, they still wouldn't even be breaking the rule, because it's technically considered maintenance, not a repair. Karen is mad I caught her stealing. Everyone decided to test my patience today. I was all alone on self-checkout, and apparently the Karens decided to come out in full force. From a Karen straight whining that she couldn't buy a random Christmas bag, to a guy lodging a complaint that he had to put his PIN in when selecting debit, and a lady having me check the prices on almost everything in her cart, because she didn't look before she took them off the shelves. This one took the cake. So she came up and scanned a $151 electronic thing, and immediately canceled after seeing the price. She asked for my help. Now, she spoke Spanish and some English, but definitely understood English. After I canceled it, I went to help other customers. A few minutes later, she kept getting an error screen, because she wanted to put on a gift card but didn't know what to do. So I asked her if she wanted a gift card, how much she wanted, $43, and I showed her it on the scanner and she approved. Now at this time, my attention was drawn to a guy behind me asking a question. I answered and turned to find her gone. Transaction not completed, but her bag's missing. She literally waited until my back was turned to run off. I frantically looked for her and noticed she was booking it towards the door, and towards my manager. Immediately, all my training left my head as I screamed, in front of the whole store, "Manager, she didn't pay." My manager jumps into action and stops her, all smiles. I come up, customer service smile back on my face. "Hey, you didn't finish your transaction." Karen says with a nervous smile, Yes, I did pay." "Let's go back and see what's happening," said the manager. In the 20 seconds it took to get back to the register, she dropped her nice facade and was pissed. She paid some of it with a gift card, and when I told her she still had $18 left to pay, she looks at me, face full of wrath, and spits out, "You pay." I replied, "No, you will pay. You owe $18. She shoved the 20 at me, took her change, and walked off. I wondered if it was my fault until a coworker who witnessed the whole thing said that the Karen gave her the middle finger for laughing at my yelling. That confirmed she was trying to steal and was pissed she got caught. Oh, and what was she trying to steal? High-end cosmetics, of course. Am I the a-hole for refusing to leave the store with my dog? I have an invisible disability and a service dog. She's a cardiac alert dog. I bring her everywhere, and it has been such a big quality of life difference for me. Yesterday I was in Bulk Foods buying some supplies and brought my dog with me. While I was buying candy, a girl nearby started crying. The mother walked over and started demanding that I leave the store immediately. I tried telling her that my dog was working and was not a pet. She wasn't having it and didn't believe me, because I was too young to have a medical condition. She said that regardless of whether or not my dog was an authentic working dog, her child had autism and was terrified. So I had to leave immediately and wait until they were done shopping until I could come back inside. I refused and continued shopping. I simply went to another area of the store to get the rest of the stuff on my shopping list. The woman had to bring her child and leave the store because she was too scared. The entire time she kept saying I should be ashamed of myself for scaring a child and refusing to leave. Yes, my dog was wearing a harness with patches on it to clearly identify it as a service dog and to not distract while she's working. And that brings us to part 2. Karen called the cops on my service dog and accused me of being too young to be disabled again. So I saw the Karen with her child again, but this time in Walmart while I was grocery shopping. I made the mistake of ignoring my dog when she was alerting to my heart rate. I genuinely thought she wanted the sandwich I was eating. Boy, was I ever wrong. I ended up really dizzy and out of breath and had to sit down in the corner of the store while she was doing deep pressure therapy. I must have been on the floor for about 10 minutes. During that time, a staff member at Walmart came over to check on me and ask if I was alright. They gave me a free bottle of water as well, and I am very appreciative of that. Anyways, while I was down, the same child saw me again from a distance and had another meltdown. The child's mom already explained to me last time that her daughter had autism. She was screaming and crying about my dog being there because she was terrified. I can understand why she may be scared, because my dog is by no means small. She's a 115-pound female cane torso. Aside from alert and response, she's also trained for mobility assistance. Her breed isn't typically used as a service dog, but she was a natural. I got her as a pet dog and she became the service dog I needed. She's 100% good girl. This woman did not leave the store with her child that was having a meltdown. Instead, she had the audacity to call 911 on me. Eventually, the cops did show up, and she kept shouting that I was faking having a disability because I was too young to actually be disabled. Again, that it was illegal for me to have my service dog anywhere near food indoors, and that people like me are the reason why she has had to suffer lockdowns. I'm Asian. She said the least I could do is be considerate and stay home away from everyone and keep my dog at home where it belongs. My dog was very clearly vested with tags that says service dog. I showed the cops my medical note that I carry stating that I require a service dog. In the end, the manager banned the woman from coming to the local Walmart for a year. The cops only gave her a warning for wasting their time and escorted her off the property. Jerk with boat parks across 5 handicapped spaces and I call the cops. I used to be a stock car racer. I quit when I was hit and slammed into a wall and fractured a vertebrae. Every Friday we would race, and then stop at a 24-hour restaurant that had lots of parking, so we can park the truck and car hauler and still see it. The restaurant is also half windows, so it's easy to see your car or truck with trailer no matter where you park. One fine day we drive to that restaurant for dinner by car. I have a handicapped placard, but there is a truck with a boat parked across all 5 handicapped spaces. I call the cops. I have a handicap placard due to spine surgeries, and it ticks me off when people do this. After we gave our order, a police officer arrives. Cue the drama. The boat owner observes the officer outside and goes out to meet him. We couldn't hear the conversation, but there was a lot of gesticulating by the boat owner. The officer hands him some paper and departs. The boat owner returns to the restaurant and he is ticked, like I stormed the Capitol kind of rage. He starts going off at the restaurant employees who assure him that they didn't call. He doesn't accept that and is screaming at a bunch of teenage employees. I stand up and said, I called them. He then turned his rage on me. I grew up with a father who had anger issues, so this was nothing new. I've learned to lean into these things, and called him out for being an entitled jerk who thought giving his boat special treatment was okay. I pointed out the spaces we used to park our race car, perfectly visible, so why be an ass and take 5 handicapped spaces? He called me a bunch of names and then his 3 boating buddies stepped in and said it was time to leave. Turned out he got 5 tickets, one for each spot at $250 each. A very expensive lunch. Maybe next time his gray matter will remind him to be a better person and avoid $1,250 in fines. Made for an interesting meal. And that's going to be it for today, friends. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Be sure to drop a like and also subscribe if you haven't already. So I'm out of here. Have a nice day and I'll see you next time.